Hello everybody, welcome to my video. My name is Jamie from PS1 Games. Welcome to my first ever viewer question answer video. And this is an idea I came up with in August 2020. Now I love doing the channel, I love doing videos, even though it's very time consuming, but I want to try and get the viewers a little bit more involved with the channel. So I put a question on the community section of YouTube and people can ask me questions and I'll do a video for it. Now for this one, we're just going to do the one question for this video. And this is from Tiffany Taylor. Thank you Tiffany for the question, hope you're well. What are your favourite top 5 PlayStation 1 games? Now that is a good question.
Number 5.
Coming at number 5 is this classic guy. It's Crash Bandicoot. This is pretty much how it all started with me. Tremendous game, absolutely love it. Coming at number 5 is Crash Bandicoot, absolutely brilliant game. Crash Bandicoot is a franchise of platform video games originally developed by Naughty Dog as exclusive for Sony PlayStation console. The series has seen numerous installments created by numerous developers and published on multiple platforms. Now when it comes to PlayStation 1, this is pretty much how it started for me. One of my friends who's going to school with actually lent me his PlayStation 1 one weekend. And this wasn't the first game I played, but it was the first one I wanted. Now I went to Blockbusters and rented out this game. It didn't cost me very much, it was good because I didn't have a lot of money at the time. But I was absolutely addicted to it. Now A, I didn't want to take it back to the shop. B, I didn't want to give my friend back his PlayStation 1. And C, it made me want one so badly. Now I asked my dad very nicely, can I please have a PlayStation 1 for Christmas? And we got it that Christmas. Thank you Dad. And as a bonus, it came with this game and Destruction Derby 2. Both tremendous games. I was a happy boy. And it still does look absolutely tremendous. Now I have long played this, but I'm going to long play 2 and 3 as well. If I've already done that, then that is old news. They can get so many lives in this game. At the moment we have a mask that will protect us from hits. Unless you fall into the water or fall into a bottomless pit, then that's an instant kill. Now you get additional lives by collecting 100 Whopper Fruit. And you can also pick them up in boxes. There we go. So many hazards. So much to watch out for. It's really good. Right, avoid the fish and don't get consumed by a plant. And don't fall in the water. There we go. Break the boxes to get additional Whopper Fruit. Now I have completed this multiple times. And got everything. I mean, absolutely everything. I got it to 100%. Now, I'm not going to go for the bonus stages on this one, because it's not that sort of video. But when you see a checkpoint, that means you'll start off where you last saw one when you die. Okay. Not overly long levels. But they are very challenging. Now, we kill enemies by using a spin attack, and you can also kill them by jumping on their heads. There we go, short and sweet. Looks and plays superb still to this day. The main games in the series are largely platformers, but several are spin-offs in different genres. The protagonist of the series is the genetically enhanced Bandicoot named Crash, who is quite alive on the Wombat Island and is often interrupted by the game's main antagonist, Dr. Neon Cortex, who created Crash and wants him dead as he has failed experiment in the most games. Crash must defeat Cortex and foil his plans for world domination. Now this is one of the crazy bosses. This one is Ripperoo. You've got to defeat him by using these great big TNTs. And this is the only level in this game where we do have bigger versions of the normal TNTs. In future games they introduce nitros. And this is how we've got to attack him. But he's got to be in the right place at the right time. He's a crazy character. I do love the boss battle in this game. Boss battles are not timed. Now that was a little bit delayed. You should have died there. Right. Need a good timed explosion. There you go. You crazy man. Well done, Crash.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4, I've gone for Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. Another superb game. Haven't played it for absolutely years, but I love this game. Absolutely superb. Okay, my 4th pick goes to Croc, Legend of the Gobbos, a platformer game developed by Argonaut Games and published by Fox Interactive. The game is an early example of a 3D platformer game released in North America in September 1997 for the Sony PlayStation and later that year for the Sega Saturn and Microsoft Windows. Taking place in the fictional setting of Gobbo Valley, Croc, Legend of the Gobbos follows a young crocodile named Croc who sets out to rescue a group of furry creatures known as Gobbos from the evil magician Baron Dante. I absolutely love this game, and again it has a story. Now when I got my PlayStation 1 that Christmas, I was also given some Christmas money. And once I finally had my PlayStation, I just could not wait to go out and spend it. And I did just that. Now during the time, I lived in Sittingbourne in Kent. Now, there's not a lot of shops in Sittingbourne in Kent. I'm not sure about now. So there wasn't many places for me to go to buy myself a game. But I went to WH Smith of all places. Didn't have a lot of games, but I saw this one and I really liked the look of it. So I didn't waste any time. I bought my Croc Legend of the Gobbos with my spending money. And again, I absolutely loved it. It was very difficult at first. It does take some getting used to. Now again, we kill enemies by spinning them, but not by using Crash's technique. We use our tail, and Crash Bandicoot does not have a tail. And we have 3 lives, and I have completed this quite a few times in the past. But yeah, moving the camera around does take a little bit of getting used to, but also you can sidestep, and you can also rotate the camera around. But I love the look of it, and I also adore the music as well. I've listened to it many, many times in my spare time. But I haven't played it for years. Now it's one of those games, you can either collect absolutely everything, or just get the basics and go for it. But you can collect so many gems, as well as different coloured gems, and keys. Okay, so of course we're going to get hazards, so avoid, I assume it's lava, and avoid the fire from the lava. Now some platforms will move and some will break underneath you. When they break, they will eventually respawn, so that's a good thing, otherwise we get stuck. You're going to be stuck. There's another coloured gem. Once you've got all the coloured gems, you then open up a secret door. They can also break the boxes by doing that. So it's a very talented crocodile. And there are so many secrets. You've got to try and rescue all of the Gobbos. There's a different quantity per level. But like Sonic, you use these gems to protect yourself. But if you take a hit, you lose your gems. Provided you have gems, you will not die. Unless you fall into like a bottomless pit. Then that's an instant kill. But that's always the case in games. Okay, this is where we find our final coloured gem. For this level anyway. Now these will break, don't stand on it for too long. Luckily they do replenish, otherwise I'll be stuck over here. Now one of the problems with this game is enemies, you've got to kill them very close. But also they don't stay gone for long. They will replenish and spawn. We can also grab the edge of the boxes. I'm surprised that goblin wasn't squished. But anyway, we've got all the coloured gems, and we're going to find the door which will open. There we go, open sesame. Okay, we have our first minigame. We've got to use jelly. Use jelly to get to higher grounds. There you go. This will gain you some additional gems, and also another gobbo you can find. The more you get, the better. And we gain another key. A silver key this time. Right, we grab the balloon. Superb! We open the cage with the key. Now also, it's like riding a bike. You never forget how to ride a bike, and I never forget where the secrets are. And there's one behind here, which is a heart. Hearts are additional lives. There we go. We hit that. With your tail. Level complete. There we go. Short and sweet. And the game also has boss battles. Croc Legends of Gobbos received average reviews from critics, praising the director's towards the game's visuals, music and sound, while criticism was directed towards the controls and camera. It went on to become one of Argonaut's most successful releases, selling over 3 million copies for the PlayStation. A sequel to the game, titled Croc 2, was released in 1999. Now we've got to attack this guy when he's out of breath. When he's not out of breath, he's actually chasing you, so you've got to run away from him. What we can do is hit him with our tail. Of course, the longer it gets, the longer he runs, which means the longer he runs, the longer we need to run away from him. Once he stops to get his breath back, we go for the attack. Pow! Have some of that. Level completed. We've got 92, just short of getting another life, but I do have 20. There you go. He wasn't a baddie after all. There you go. Brilliant game. Croc, Legend of the Gobbos.
Number 3.
Okay, my next choice, coming at number 3, is G-Darius. I absolutely love this game. Brilliant game. We've got to have a shoot 'em up in there somewhere. Okay, coming at number 3 is G-Darius. A shoot 'em up arcade game released by Tieto in 1997. It's the 4th installment of the Darius series and the first in the series to feature 3-dimensional polygon graphics. Much like previous installments, the Darius series, G-Darius is a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up. While the game features 3-dimensional polygon graphics, the gameplay remains 2-dimensional. The player controls a spaceship named the Silver Hawk and must battle enemies to avoid obstacles throughout the game stages referred to as zones in the game. The ship is armed with forward-firing missiles, small aerial bombs and the protective force field. These can be upgraded by power-ups in the form of large orbs, which are dropped by specific coloured enemies that are destroyed in the game. This is actually boss attack. You can actually go through all the boss battles in the game at any difficulty you want to do. But I absolutely love this game, and again it has a story. And I got this game during my college years. Now bear in mind, I was actually earning my own money, and it didn't take me quite some time, but I had a demo of this, and I played it to absolute death. This and R-Type Delta were the most demos I played on the PlayStation 1. So I saved up like there's no tomorrow, and eventually went to lunch break, and I went to Electronics Boutique, which is in Canterbury in Kent at the time, and I bought it, and I played it to absolute death. And to this day, I've still not completed it. And the reason for that is, I've mentioned it before in some of my videos, is because of the weapons. At the moment we have the missiles, which are very strong. The third weapon is the plasma, which is even stronger. The problem is, the second weapon is the laser, which is absolutely diabolical. Now we upgrade each weapon by picking up red orbs. Now to get the laser, you've got to upgrade fully the missile. To get the plasma, you've got to fully upgrade the laser. But when you die, you lose all your orbs you have on that current weapon. And the problem is, because the laser is so poor, I can never get to the plasma. I'm always stuck at the laser. If I had plasma, it would be absolutely superb. It would be a breeze. Unless you go to the game, completely can go through the game without collecting enough red orbs to bring on the laser, I should be fine. But I do love these boss battles. They are absolutely superb. And there we go. Boom, boom, pow. Now if you're playing the arcade version, you can then pick what zone you want to go to. In this case, A or B. It's got a lot of levels, we don't have to do all of them. Among the enemy's arsenal is a capture ball, which is what players can launch to capture enemies. Once captured, the enemy will follow and aid the player's ship. Each enemy contains a unique enhancement. Some will act as turrets and others will act as shields. New to the series is the concept of beam dueling. The player can absorb a captured enemy and fire a powerful laser over a short period of time, which will instantly destroy nearly every enemy it comes in contact with. This is primarily used in boss battles. Every major boss in the game has the equivalent laser beam. If the player and the boss fire the laser simultaneously, a duel will take place. The player must overwhelm the boss's laser by repeatedly pressing the fire button as quickly as possible. If successful, the boss beam will eventually dissipate, and the player's beam will multiply in size, as well as in power, and severely destroying the boss, or very heavily damaging the boss, shall we say. But anyway, this is another great boss, and this is where I'll hopefully demonstrate the power of the duel. But we've got to have an item in place first. We happen to have 4 capture balls, so I've got 4 attempts at it. But also, once you've got it, you then got to try and stay alive by avoiding his attacks. And this one has a lot of attacks, so we're going to start the duel. So launch it at the same time. Keep pressing the fire button repeatedly, and hopefully we'll get the better of his beam. And each time you do so, the beam will get bigger. More powerful indeed. Bigger in size, and hopefully going to be devastating. And there are some bosses in this game where you can get so big, you can actually take up the entire screen. Is it going to be enough to get the job done? Yes, it is. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's another absolutely superb shoot 'em up. It has lots of levels, lots of boss battles. There you go. Superb. That is G-Darius.
Number 2.
Now this was actually a difficult pick, but this is my pick for number 2 of my list. And this is Deadpool Zone, one of my favourite games on the PlayStation 1. And this is a game that never ever gets spoken about. I love it. Brilliant game. Okay, so the game, this is Deadpool Zone, an action sports game for the original PlayStation. It was made by GT Interactive and rated teen. It was released on September 1st, 1998. And again, I absolutely love it. I played it to absolute death. Saw this in a magazine, and I absolutely like the look of it, and I could not wait to get it. And I'm a big fan of it because I'm a big fan of Speedball and Speedball 2, of course. Now, it's pretty much the same thing, but it has a lot more moves. Anything from a punch, to a tackle, to a headbutt, to a crotch kick, maybe even a pile driver. Now, you also do get weapons. You get a chainsaw, a gun, and in later leagues, you do get a bomb, which is good, but there's a lot of enemies nearby. You can actually get about 304 enemies in one single blast. Now there's 3 areas you can score. If you score right in front of the goal, you get 1 single point. Score from left or right side of the goal, you get 3 points. Anywhere else, you get 5 points, which is the maximum. Now enemies, and your players of course, can be injured or even killed. So you can do substitutions at the end of each quarter. I really do love this game. Launch the ball into the opponent's net, over, around, or through the opponent. Players are armed with a variety of weapons, chainsaws, grenades, machine guns, etc., and a full range of unarmed combat moves, including the good old-fashioned crotch kick, all of which can be used to defend the goal, but remember, the best defence is good offence. Right, now, where your name is, and mine one is Voodoo at the top left, below that is a bar. That works in multiple ways. That works as a turbo bar and also for performing special moves. You need to have some in that bar to be able to do a special move. Now because he scored in the box just in front of the goal, he only got a single point for that. So I'm still winning 5-1. One of the characters had a chainsaw and I got it in the chest. Deadpool Zone also had many features that you would expert in typical sports game, including player development, league, season management, and stake tracking, scores, kills, etc. The game was mixed reception, but good reception from Power Unlimited. Right. At the moment I'm winning, but also I've got more players on the pitch. Quite a lot of theirs are actually down injured at the moment. They'll stay there until the end of the quarter. Now if they're killed, then believe it or not, they won't come back. They'll be out for the remainder of the match. So you can actually end the game with a lot less players on the pitch than it was when it started. Now one thing I love about this game is whether there's an enemy that is injured or killed, the body stays there for the remainder of the quarter. Now this is actually quarter 2. And at the moment of time, the computer has used all of their weapons. I haven't used any yet. Now the gun is activated by pressing triangle twice. And they'll shoot the person that has the ball. And the same with the chainsaw. To activate a chainsaw, you've got to press square twice. And again, whoever has the ball will get attacked by a chainsaw. And you'll keep that chainsaw for a short period of time. You can actually attack as many people as you can in that time.
Get ready.
Alright, he's vomiting.
Game.
Use the chainsaw. You get quite a lot of kills doing this way. There you go. How many bodies are there? My lord, look at that. I'm still losing. I broke his back. Kicked him with the love plums. What do you have to do to get the ball? And they can also throw the opponents into the sides of the arena that's electrified. That does work to your advantage as well. Deadpool Zone is an original futuristic sports game that combines the best elements of modern day sports with all the violence and mayhem of brutal street fights. Fast and exciting, Deadpool Zone rewrites the future sports book. It's not in a good way.
Game on.
might have finished them off. It is. Player is eliminated. And it won't end until the ball goes out of play. And scoring a goal means it's out of play.
Get ready.
Right. Chainsaw. Never fails to be impressed with that move. Have some of that. There's the gun.
Game on.
Have some of that. There's another one gone. I think I might have left it a little bit too late though. That's the only thing. But I tend to then use the 1-2. Right, I'm 7 points behind. 2 goals will win it.
Replay. Get ready.
A few dead bodies there. I've got to get 2 goals in 27 seconds. Right, come on, Jamie. There we go, they've got no goalie. They don't have enough players. This is the tactic I tend to do. Trouble is, doing it this way means it's going to be a bit of a rush towards the end. A last hurrah! But yes, the goalie had no choice. He had to come out of his goal. There's no one else to pass to. There's no one else to defend. So there we go. You can't miss. Right, they've got 3 players left. I've got all of them.
Game on.
You just throw the ball anywhere. It should go in. But also, you can't attack the goalie if he's inside that box. Once he's outside the box, then you can. Look at that! 2 seconds to go. I'm now winning. There we go. He's punching the ground in frustration. I don't blame him. All we've got to do now is just throw the ball out of play.
Game on.
Just throw it out of play. Throw it out of play. That's the goalie. We'll get another goal. That'll do. There we go. That is dead ball zone. Absolutely superb.
Number 1.
I'm sure you guys are not surprised. This was a very, very easy pick for me. Number 1 goes to R-Type Delta, my favourite PlayStation 1 game of all time. Okay, this is the game's R-Type Delta. A shoot-em-up video game developed by IREM and released for the PlayStation in 1999. It's the 4th game in the R-Type series and the first to feature 3D graphics. The game received generally positive reviews from critics. And this is my favourite R-Type game on the PlayStation 1. In fact, it's my favourite game on the PlayStation 1. That's what I meant to say. R-Type Delta is a shoot-em-up set in 2164. The game offers different fighters with different forces and wave cannon combinations for the player to choose from. It also introduced the dose system, which allows forces to absorb energy through collisions with projectiles and enemies. Every force has a dose gauge, and when the dosage becomes 100%, the player can attack using a Delta attack, a super weapon attack from which depends on which fighter is being used. Now I'm using the R9A Delta. Now, this game is brilliant. I'm easy to please when it comes to R-Types. I'm easy to please when it comes to shoot-em-ups. But this one just ticks all the boxes for me. Now, like G-Darius, again, I had a demo of it and I just kept on playing it. I just couldn't get enough of it. Now, even though I didn't have the money at the time, but I think this one I actually did trade in quite a few games, and it's got quite rare for me to trade in some games. But that's how much I wanted it. Now, I do regret trading those games in. Some of them I have bought again, but I just had to have this game in my collection. It's that good. Completed it many, many times, but it's definitely going to get long played in the future. And the weapons are pretty much the same as the previous games. At the moment we have the reflection lasers, bounce off the terrain. Good for enemies that are surrounding you. Now the force can be detached at any time, and if you're on the front or the rear of the R9. And also pressing the L1 or L2 buttons, you actually change the speed. You don't just have to pick up a speed power to do it. You do it at the click of a button. I love the music, I love the sound effects. It's just an all-round superb game. I can't praise it enough. There you go. A slight refinement to the original R9 uses the center force and an improved over the spiral motion gun that was introduced in R-Type 2 and used again in the Super R-Type for the SNES, which again I've long played. Being renamed the Diffusion Wave Cannon in R-Type Final, the R9A's Delta attack is a nuclear catastrophe which fills the screen with electric fusion, which does attack reflects on the differences in each ship. There we go. That was doing to me doing this. Now this is the level that appears on that demo. So this level I know really, really well. There's quite a lot of enemies that do appear from previous games. There's also quite a lot of new ones. Now my dose at the moment is 45, now 48.8. Once it gets to 100%, then you can activate it by pressing the triangle button. Right. This thing will destroy many buildings. It's doing a lot of damage, but its weakness is that purple section. Right, let's charge up the beam. I haven't done it yet. Now also, you have the beam and the ultra beam, which does a lot more damage than the normal beam. There we go. Pow! Have some of that. So when it goes green, you can use a normal beam. When it goes purple or pink, you can do the full beam. Now the force is indestructible. However, some attacks can go through it. Right, bring on the first boss. There we go. The dose is very nearly full. Just needs a few more attacks and it should be fully maxed out. Now a laser will go straight through the force. Right, let's build up this dose. Use it on this video. So that's proving quite difficult to do, but I'm very close to it right now. Score 35,522. Now go you shoot the front bit, that is its weakness. Let's end it with a dose. There we go. Have some of that! I've never killed it like that before. Normally I don't use it for quite some time. I use it for the most difficult levels ahead. There we go. Superb game. It's going to get long play, but that is my favourite game on the PlayStation 1. Okay everyone, that's the end of my video. Short and sweet, but thank you Tiffany for the question. And this is Jamie from Warner's Games. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe to my channel, visit the fan page, visit on Twitch to type in Warner's Games. You'll find it fairly easily. And please remember to click the bell icon that notifies you visit low. That's it. Not the these sort of videos, new retro long plays like cheats, have I been making and live streams every Friday night, new time, 8 o'clock. Can't wait. Till next time, take it easy. Ciao, bye, see ya. First mistake, Jamie, you just picked up a zipstick joystick. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. However, that would be fantastic to play Crash Bandicoot with a zipstick joystick. This was now the point where I was actually earning quite a lot of my own money by doing... No, Jamie. A silver hawk and battle enemies and avoid obstacles. Jamie, I keep pressing the button. Now we have two of those, which is activated by pressing triangle and square at the same time. Anyone caught nearby is then on the floor for quite a short period of time. There's a gun. I can do that too. Again, it will attack the player that has the ball.